It's your boy Koffe Black. We are in the building. Welcome to Cigarettes and Bad Decisions. That's right, I am back, and it feels good to be back. This show is going to be bigger, better, and dare I say, even blacker. Which, contrary to popular belief, because of my dark skin, some might say that is hard to achieve. However, I don't think so. It's been a journey. This is a new show that I have kicked off. Things were great over at the old show at Truth About Lies, but we decided to, after talking with the suits, do something different. The producer engineer for the fans that have come over to Cigarettes and Bad Decisions, he has decided to go on, and he had actually, throughout the course of that show, Truth About Lies, he found a voice of his own, and now he is hosting his own show, Memoirs of a Daydreamer. MOD, hashtag MOD. You can find them on Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher, and everywhere from Truth About Lies. When you guys were following us and you were listening to us, you can find him on that, his own show now, Memoirs of a Daydreamer. Hollow Tip got a promotion. She wants nothing to do with the mic anymore. She wanted nothing to do with the mic anymore, however, because she's my homegirl, she promised to come on and do a show on Cigarettes and Bad Decisions from time to time and sit in with your boy Koffe Black, so we can't wait for her to do that. And I just put her on blast, so now she has to do that.
She has no choice.
She has no choice. And I got a new crew, man. New crew. Got a new building, new room. Got a new chair, a new mic. Everything's new.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Out with the old, in with the new. That voice that you hear is a partner in crime now who will be sitting in on the show from time to time. OG Backwards.
How you doing, people? It's the OG Backwards. How everybody doing out there in the land? Coming in here to give you that raw, unadulterated truth. I don't know, it seems to not be that popular nowadays, but you know what? Hey, I'm an old school kind of guy. I'm going to give you an old school kind of opinion. So, you know, another one, you know. That's my intro.
That was your intro?
Yeah, I mean,
that was your contribution to the show.
You know,
that was your contribution to the show.
I'm new to this.
I'm asking you,
I'm sorry, like,
don't yammer right now. Was that your?
I mean,
oh God, I don't even know if this show's gonna make it. I apologize.
At least I didn't make the joke about Cicely Tyson. I mean,
oh God, don't do that.
90 years old, fam.
Don't you do it. I will mute this mic. I will mute it.
90 years old.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Anyway, moving on, because that is not proper contribution to the show. We've got a lot in store for you guys. We've got stopping in later on. I did 2 interviews with 2 extremely funny comedians out of Chicago. A good friend of mine, Mark Laval, and Ed Towns. Also stopping in, the co-founder and creator of Cigarettes and Bad Decisions and the editor of Seven Circle online magazine, geared for artists everywhere, underground, Sharita Woodridge, and also a young lady. Hopefully she comes through. We're waiting on her to come in. Maybe I can get an interview with her. I don't know. Guys, is she still coming? We have a songwriter coming in. It was crazy how we got on the interview, but because I don't have my notes in front of me, because clearly somebody did not bring my notes in front of me today.
Tragic.
This is tragic. This is
tragic.
This is a work in progress again, people. But
Cigarettes.
For my fans that followed me from Truth About Lies, and for the new fans that are stopping in, I guarantee you, this is nothing new. Okay, they know what's going on. They know what they're going to get. And for those of you that don't know, you're getting ready to find out what you're going to get.
Oh, you definitely about to find out, man. Cigarettes and Bad Decisions, man. This isn't about, being professional, man. Everybody's so fake and phony, man. Everybody's so fake and phony. No, we're going to give it to you raw, okay? We don't have notes right now. We just winging it right now.
Oh, God. You know what I'm saying? We are not winging it right
now.
I mean, we actually have notes. My intern just brought me notes.
Oh, for real?
You don't have your notes because you weren't prepared.
Oh,
you walked in the studio today unprepared.
I mean, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, man, we got a great show for you, man.
We got a great show for you guys.
You know
let's kick it off with the first segment we're going to do. Top 5 bad decisions of the week.
Yes, sir.
Okay, coming in at number 1 on Top 5 bad decisions of the week. We're going to go right to it. The speech that it's the Jesse Williams speech at the BET Awards.
Classic.
I think what happened was the media had nothing going on. The NBA Finals were over.
Well, we like 2 months from NFL.
The sporting world wasn't getting us anything.
And niggas ain't watching baseball, so I mean.
Okay, all right then.
I mean, let's just.
The attack in Istanbul happened a couple days after.
Yeah, terrible.
So there was nothing really happening. So I think in media, like that night, might have been the perfect storm leading up media-wise for him to do what he did. And it was funny because everybody was yammering over the speech, and it's been the talk of the town for just basically all week.
Yeah.
And let me just begin by saying this. BET is not owned
by black people,
by anybody black anymore.
Right.
And there was it was an undertone, it was a shocker that the BET Awards were being aired on Nickelodeon. I have no idea why, but I found that weird and odd that the BET Awards were being aired on Nickelodeon.
So basically, Viacom just aired the BET Awards on all their channels. That's pretty much that.
I mean, I guess you can assume that. I mean, I don't know how you would know unless you were going through all Viacom channels.
Nickelodeon, MTV, BET, VH1, and they got a couple of more. I wouldn't be surprised if it was on CMT, the country music channel.
And that
probably
is why a percentage of white America was
pretty
appalled about the speech.
They couldn't listen to that.
And I wonder how many were actually watching the BET Awards or just got wind of the speech. Because of social media and everybody speaking on social media, I'm pretty sure when they started seeing the uproar off of the speech and the elation of the speech, it got out. And, it doesn't take long for things to go viral. But it went viral, and we're going to play the clip. You guys want to play the clip? Okay, play the clip of the speech. All right, OG backwards.
Amazing, man.
You don't feel it was a bad decision?
Not at all. I mean, because at some point, look, BT is not known for really being that politically responsible, not like they used to. Now, granted, I don't watch BT on a regular basis, but when I do turn to being responsible is the last thing I see, which is why I don't watch BT. Okay. All right, and I'm pro-black all day, but BET is just not my cup of tea like it used to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for him to get on that platform in front of all these rich Negroes that don't care about nothing but a dollar bill and speak truth to power, I thought it was amazing, man. I thought it was amazing. And I thought it was amazing. What I want to know is, how did Viacom know he was going to get that speech?
That's why, but again, that's why I say it was a perfect storm. Everything lined up. There was nothing happening significant in the world. Not saying that it was not anything significant happening in the world right now. There was nothing juicy, that was really grasping attention. Negativity or shocking. And I don't believe Jesse Williams. First of all, I would really like to interview him and wonder, number one, did he know he was going to win previously? Sometimes in award shows, you already know that you've won the award.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think he probably did. But he would have had to in order to
but because I think it was coming from, well, first of all, Jesse Williams has been an advocate for just rights and equality for a long time. This is not the first time that he has come out and spoken out in favor. I don't even want to say in favor of
civil rights
or anything like that, but he has been on the forefront for quite a while now. So he is not foreign to this platform or using his platform that he has gotten being an actor from Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
I think he was a sideline reporter for the NBA Finals.
Really?
Yeah, he was a sideline reporter for the NBA Finals a few times. He's an African-American male. He's attractive. Okay?
Pause.
No homo.
Pause.
No homo. But he's a good-looking guy He's on he's been a sex symbol. You know, he's on a network television show. He's a star.
And he's light-skinned. I mean, that means something to a lot of people.
It does.
It does.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? That's not like a personal attack. No, he's light-skinned.
Yeah,
it's like,
so, you're
and
right.
I've been hearing in the news about, oh, man, he's light-skinned. That's why, you know.
No, but I think what got the locomotive going was because of the fact that he was on he's on a hit TV show that's part of
the system that
the big three, you know, CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, the big four, NBC, ABC, you know, like that is all the way around, you know what I'm saying? Prime time, he's a star of the show, one of the stars of the show. Him using his platform, it wasn't shocking. Let me put it like this. I'm actually surprised of the
backlash?
Not surprised of the backlash. Well, actually, I am a little bit surprised at the backlash because this is not his first time. He's been on CNN during the riots down in St. Louis, or excuse me, East St. Louis, and he's been outspoken for a while now.
Yeah.
So the backlash is a bit surprising to me. I guess, and I don't know how much traction the BET Awards is getting. Apparently, it's getting a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, I know before it was, you know, when I used to watch award shows, but I guess people still do watch award shows. I mean, if he would have did this at the Emmys, I could understand the backlash. Because the Emmys is something that is...
It's white.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's
all right.
white.
Yeah. Okay. But it's of all of Hollywood. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that is huge. Okay. That is the mainstay. So if he would have done that there, then it's, oh my God, like that is taking a leap. Not saying that he wouldn't, because I believe that he would.
He probably would.
I know he would. Okay, I mean, it's nothing for him. Like, this guy has been doing this for a while. He's not an assassin.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? A
like
political assassin. Like, he's just out of nowhere, just speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Attacking. You know, and I find it funny that. And it's not all whites or all Caucasians that took offense to this or offended by it.
It was just a few that had that guilt conscience.
You know, and I think more so it's the media, you know, Fox News, it's the media. The media, you know, kept on pushing this, oh my God. Now, of course, when you look at social media gives everybody a voice. Everybody has a voice on social media.
Everybody shouldn't have a voice.
Everybody should not have a voice.
I don't believe it.
And I mean, we've discussed social media before. When you give an idiot a platform, get ready. Because get ready.
Yeah.
Because you see all the ignorance.
And it's so much.
Overwhelming. Quite overwhelming.
Like, you wouldn't even realize, like, before 2000, you didn't even know how many stupid people actually walking around here.
That's very true. You did not know. You did not know. But then you get to see their responses and everything. I think, like you say, it was a great decision.
It was a great decision.
It was a great decision by him. Why was it a great decision?
It was a great decision because to do it on that platform, even if, because it was the BET Awards, it still has a huge white following.
Okay.
Has a huge black following. This was a speech that was tailored for white and black.
Yes.
Period. I thought it was a great decision too how he brought up black women. Like, that was actually one of the first
bigging up black women? Yes.
Yeah. I think that was one of the first things he said, because black women in this country are the most unprotected.
I say they got the double negative.
Being black and a woman.
And a woman. That's a double negative.
I think but the biggest, it is. But it is.
And it's true.
But the biggest negative is the black part. See,
the world, let me put it like this. The macro perspective, being a black woman, I love my black women. I love
them to death.
I love them to death. I love women in general. I believe in women's rights. But when you're a woman, you're already at a certain level in this country. And you're unrespected. It's just that this country and the way it's been found, this world in general, women beneath men, like that's that mentality amongst the elites and this, that, and the other. And so...
And then black women are there as being beneath everybody.
Beneath everybody. So you got
That's the
white
part.
Male,
the white woman, then the black man, then the black woman.
Right. If we wanted to go...
Like, looking at it from an oppressor's point of view.
In an oppressor's point of view.
Of course, somebody like me and you, we look at black women as being, the end. To me, it's the end all to be all.
Right. But
nothing against white women.
In this country.
Right.
Yes.
No, I'm talking period.
Right. Okay.
I mean, nothing against white women, but as far as black women have been not only the most oppressed, but I feel like they've been the most, they exhibit the most strength. They've exhibited the most strength.
Because they have to deal with more.
Right. So they have no choice but to rise up above all the nonsense. And I liked how he started it off with mentioning black women. Now, another part that I liked was when he was talking about police brutality on white people. And I've heard a couple of white people say how, oh man, there's more cops, kill white people. Well, then y'all need to be out there marching too, if that's the case. I don't hear y'all complaining about it. So there's something to that. If cops kill more white people, which very well may be true, you are the majority of the company. There's more of you here. We're a minority. Basically, y'all got white folks to spare because y'all not saying nothing about police brutality. It's not a thing for you. It's a thing for us. Right. So don't tell me about what police are doing to white folks, because if it was that serious, y'all would be on every news station. Y'all be out there, which there are white people who march, whenever there's protests going on. But I'm talking about people who look at police brutality as being a problem. Every time somebody black comes up and says that we have a problem, you always got a white person that's trying to demean that message. That's wrong. Period. Okay, how you feel? It's wrong.
Okay.
They got white folks to spare, man. That's why.
The reason why we were discussing whether or not this is one of the top 5 bad decisions of the week is because I said you felt it was a great decision, and I agreed with you, but on the back end, it could be perceived now as a career risk. Because, and again, he's always been an advocate.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, well, why? I've been hearing it all week now. He's risked his career, being blackballed, and this, that, and other, yada, 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 yada. And I really don't think that guy gives a shit. Like, I really honestly don't think he gives a shit.
Why would he?
Because if you don't use your platform that you have, and the discussion has been talked about for a while now, and it's been popping up more and more of black athletes, black
actually
actors,
speaking out, being socially responsible.
Being socially responsible.
Yeah.
Should they not? The Kobe Bryants of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, the LeBron James of the world. Mm-hmm. I get it. Right? I get it. I understand it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said, I understand that they're focused on their careers, getting their money, making sure their families are straight, this, that, and other. So I was like, okay, well, he took a risk. And maybe, sometimes it's a saying, when you make a choice, you really don't know if it's a good decision or a bad decision till after you've done it. Okay? And I think it's got people talking again, and it's not like race isn't talked about throughout this country all the time, especially on social media. It's talked about all the time on social media.
Every day.
But I said it was a bad decision career-wise. Now, I had to take that approach because you took the other side, which leads which leads me to number 2 on the list, Justin Timberlake coming out.
Black Twitter.
Oh my God, man, let me tell you something.
They should have never gave you niggas Twitter.
Oh my God. Listen, I felt so bad for that guy because what he said was taken out of context.
I don't even see how you could take it out of context.
No. What he said was taken out of context, I'm talking.
But I'm saying, no, he said, it was so simple. He said that he was inspired.
But
that was pretty much like the gist.
But
he didn't say a lot. It's only 140 characters. Like, you can't say that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, you're a white guy. You inspire, man. Congratulations.
Nah, man.
You know?
He look. I love Justin Timberlake.
Whoa, I wouldn't go that far.
JT's the man, dude.
Yeah,
and let me
cool.
tell you some Future Sex love songs. Psh, dude, what?
Yeah,
His first album? Classic. Oh, my God. I'm not even going to get into this with you. You are just
not
sad,
impressed.
sir.
You are
sad, sir.
Not impressed.
This is his statement on Twitter after the Jesse Williams speech. Okay? This is what he said. Mm-hmm. And again, I understood. I saw it happening. I saw it as soon as he released it. I was like, "Oh man, this guy is dead. This guy, they're getting ready to annihilate this guy." The statement was,
Jesse Williams, though, and hashtag inspired, hashtag BET 2016. That's all he said. All the other stuff wasn't until after the fact. That's what he said. That was it. Before he retweeted Questlove, Jesse Williams running 2016. Of course, speaking of him, running for president for the people who don't get it, but whatever, the show ain't for you anyway. So
shows for everybody, folks. Don't listen to this guy, please.
No, stupid people. No.
You can't run off listeners. You can't do that.
If they stupid though, I mean, their intelligence level, they wouldn't get it no way.
Well, look, we're trying to bring in as many people as possible. You understand that?
I get that.
Do you understand that, OG?
I get it. Like,
we've been yammering right now for 17 minutes.
But there's
we still got like 3 more. Oh, come on,
people, you're stupid.
Oh my God.
They're stupid. I'm sorry. Blame your parents.
It's so bad.
Parent, aunts, uncles, whoever raised you. Blame your grandmother. Your grandmother raised an idiot. I'm sorry. Congratulations.
Just keep on going. He's gonna keep on going.
But anyways,
listen to me. What he did was he came out and he liked the speech because it's not coming up, and he says, "Do you have it?"
That's right here.
You have it pulled up?
That's what I said.
You have it pulled up?
It was
right.
Do
you have it? You don't have it.
I definitely had it. I had it. Yeah, it's right here.
Well, then,
Justin Tibb, this is what he started with. Hashtag inspired. This is when everything else happened. When people started attacking him.
I forgot this forum sometimes. I was truly inspired by Jesse Williams' speech because I really do feel that we are all one, a human race.
We are. But, hold on, we talking about Justin Timberlake, though. Coming from anybody else, it would have looked like an all lives matter. Because I'm assuming that this is why they attacked him.
Oh, they attacked him because he
was into the all lives matter.
It seemed like an undertone of all lives matter. We are all one. And a lot of people feel we are not all one because if you, as some of them said, if you were really listening to the speech, he was speaking out at the fact that we are not all treated as one.
Exactly.
And there'd be no need for him to make that speech if we were. If everybody was treated as one and on one accord.
True.
So I don't think.
But I don't think
he was not intentionally coming out saying that. He was trying. Justin is a good guy. I think he was trying to not be on the bandwagon, but perhaps speak out of bridging the gap of the mentality of everybody changing their mentality. And I think that's what happened. I think he just got caught up in the crossfire. Will he recover? Yes, he will recover.
Of course he'll recover. He's white and he's Justin Timberlake. Like, come on, man. Ain't nothing about to happen to him. So, Black Twitter ain't taking money out of nobody's pocket, all right?
That's very true.
Let's just be real, okay?
That's very true, but Black Twitter does do a lot of funny stuff.
Black Twitter needs to sit the fuck down. All right, that's what Black Twitter needs to do.
Oh, man.
Black Twitter, look, here's the thing. I'm all for the pro. I'm pro-black all the time. If you've even listened to the past 10 minutes, it's all about pro-blackness.
Clearly.
My issue with Black Twitter is it's just a bunch of bored people that's ready to pounce it's like they like tigers pouncing on raw meat. They have nothing else better to do but complain.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I don't.
Let me tell you something. I'm not sticking up for you. Black Twitter attacks this show.
Man, Black Twitter can suck my dick. Oh, and there's a lot of bad bitches on Black Twitter. I swear it is. God. Okay, you know what? I should. Let me take out the bitch part. You know, there's a lot of bad-looking young ladies on Black Twitter.
Man, you're never gonna be on the show.
It's a lot of them. It's like for real. Man, get out of here, man. I'm tired of all these fake woke people, man. I feel like, look, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. NWA did an interview. This is after Ice Cube left. MC Ren, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, they all did an interview on Arsenio Hall, 1990. And they was talking about how they don't like to see all these pro-black people with the African medallions and the kente cloth and all of that, because they feel like they looking at it as just a fad.
Yes.
They don't really care about the progress. They just doing it because it look cool. And I feel like everything else, everything goes in circles. Every 20 years, things recycle. And I feel like that's what we are now. Now it's cool to be pro-black. It's cool to speak out against injustice. Police brutality didn't just start in the past 3 years. It's been going on.
Oh, God, forever.
Like, the only difference is that now it's more media attention. That's it. Now it's cool to be pro-black. It's cool to be like, fight the power. Chuck D is in the conversation again. Talib Kweli is, and no disrespect to Talib Kweli, man, I love you, brother, but he's more relevant now because we're in a space of social responsibility. I want to see how long this lasts. Let's see in the next 5 years, are we still having these conversations? All right. That's what I don't like about quote unquote Black Twitter. Some of them do mean well. A lot of them just bored. It's the hot thing to do right now, to complain. Oh man, the police, man, pro-black, fight the power, man. Shut the fuck up. You don't care. It's just a hot thing to do right now. That's it. Don't take back what I said about the beautiful young ladies out there on Black Twitter.
Don't worry about it. We edited it out.
No.
We already edited it out. That's
You're wonderful.
That's in the notes.
But I'm tired of these fake hotep folks, man.
And moving along, because we didn't stay too long on that. I don't
fucking Black Twitter. Move along.
God.
You know what I'm
We're
saying?
gonna get so attacked. Oh my God, dude, you can't quit. Don't do that, dude.
What?
The first show. This show is horrible
Black Twitter.
already.
It's not my fault, man. Black Twitter's Black
Anyway,
Twitter.
moving on.
It ain't my fault. They did it. You know what I'm saying? Blame them.
Jesus Christ! Somebody turn this back off. Moving on to number 3. This was an interesting story, and dare I say, probably actually should have been number 1. Next time, I'm not going to have a hot take involving anything like this because you just went on a extreme tangent, and I don't even really know why.
It's not my fault, man. It's them, man. Blame them, man.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, this was in Arizona. This is disturbing. Extremely disturbing story. 2 TV reporters charged with child abuse after their 4-month-old daughter tests positive for cocaine in Tucson, Arizona.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Allegedly.
2 Arizona television personalities faced multiple charges after their baby became ill and eventually tested positive for cocaine, according to police.
Tragic.
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their names.
Let me give it a try. What is it? Let me see.
Somchai
Laseus, Kristen Laseus. Okay, let me look up and see where that originated from.
Are accused of snorting cocaine during May 14th gatherings at their home in Oro Valley, according to the police document by Arizona Daily Star. After breastfeeding next morning, the couple's 4-month-old baby's condition appeared to worsen, and the baby's eyes were rolling, and she became limp and wobbly, according to the Tucson Weekly. The couple refused to allow the hospital staff to test their child's blood, and were again uncooperative after the child was rushed to the Diamond Children's Hospital. After the Office of Child Welfare Investigations Department of Child Safety got involved and a blood and urinalysis were performed on the child and her mother, both tested positive for cocaine. How dumb can you be?
It's disgusting, man.
How dumb?
You're gonna snort coke and then breastfeed? Really, bitch? really, bitch? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do? That's what's hot? I'm looking at the picture of this guy. He looks like a coke head.
No, definitely.
This guy looks like he does coke.
Let me see that.
For everybody.
Oh, yeah. That is.
He does
for
coke.
everybody that wants to know, look up the story. Now, this is in the Tucson Weekly in Arizona. And that is just
looks like they do coke.
Parental irresponsibility
really
at its finest.
I feel sorry for the baby.
Last but not least,
which
is a little light for the list, apparently Tito Jackson has an album coming out?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he's Tito Jackson, man.
I don't know.
Like you can't. Hey, he got a song with Big Daddy Kane, man.
That is worse. That's worse than
what?
The uproar should not have been Jesse Williams' speech this week. It should have been Tito Jackson having the album coming out, and who actually okayed that album. I would like for those executives. I want Black Twitter to actually attack those executives that elected to let Tito Jackson
Jackson, man.
No.
Yo, he's legendary, man.
Okay. All right. It's time.
Why does everybody got to shit on Tito Jackson? Yo, man, Tito. You know what I'm saying? More power to you, man. You had Big Daddy Kane, man.
Big Daddy Kane is on Tito Jackson's album.
Yes, it was the song that I tried to play for you. You told me to turn it off after 5 seconds.
And
like, you got to give it a chance, man.
And I'm gonna give Tito Jackson and his new album, along with Big Daddy Kane, the same exact chance I just gave you. Decisions. I've got my homegirl with me, my good friend, co-founder of Cigarettes and Bad Decisions, and the editor of Seven Circle Magazine, Sharita Woodard. And also tagging along with her is Candace. Candace, what do you do for Seven Circle?
I coordinate artists and the like to interview them.
Oh, okay. So you are...
reach out to them and get their information sometimes.
All right.
Create interview questions for them, talk to them, make sure they give me their things back on time so that we can release the time and fashion.
All right, cool. Good to have you guys in. How was the flight in?
It was interesting.
Interesting flight in. Okay. I know we tried to get you guys in first class. Somehow something got wonky. Right there, you got first class. Sharita, you came in first class. Candace, you're a little upset when you came to the studio because of the fact that you did not get a first class flight. I apologize for that. Our interns here are kind of new and kind of weed smoking fornicators, so it's a little rough. I understand that. We apologize. We'll promise to do better. Hopefully, you can come back out.
Hours on a plane with your knees at a 90-degree angle ain't what to do, you know.
I apologize for that.
Sounds like terrible.
We'll get you a nice ball of something and some Tylenol for your knees.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No, man. Good to have you ladies on. So, Miss Woodard.
What's going on?
Seven Circle Magazine. Tell us about it.
I know, right? You didn't even open with that. Like, you just went straight to Candace and was like, what do you do? Who cares what Candace does? I mean, you know.
Well, you're the new editor of Seven Circle. It's a good magazine. It's a great online mag.
Yeah, definitely. We're online, but we also, you know, you can print it as well. You can get printed copies as well. But I mean, we profile artists or singers or poets, comedians, basically anybody that has something to say, or whatever your
any form of art,
any form of art, self-expression. Yes. So, yeah, we will profile you.
You can be a model.
We've done models, poets. I probably said that already, but anybody, rappers, singers, dancers, everybody. So, you know, if you're about that life, I guess.
So definitely about an artist's life,
because we're all about nice, not gonna say nice pictures, gosh, but like legit, professional, quality, So like,
even if you're not,
it's a very visual magazine. Is what I'm trying to go with that.
Even if you feel like you're not, professional yet, if you
I was gonna say
if you have an eye, we're trying to showcase.
Is the magazine more geared to underground artists trying to come up and facilitate themselves?
At this time,
you guys cover.
We've had a couple of higher, more well-known people.
I was going to say
in it.
We have way more established artists that's been in the game. Oh yeah, we've done that, but we mainly do. I'm gonna say newbies, but like people who and not even necessarily, we do people that are just getting into whatever industry they're trying to get into, but like people that need that outlet, that need more recognition. You know what I'm saying? They may be 4 or 5 years in the game or whatever, and you know that's kind of where we're trying to aim with it. Like you just need more press. You need to get your name out there a bit more. We help with that. You know what I mean? So
well, that's our goal at least, is to help with that. Let's
help you further what you're trying to do. Yeah,
I think that's dope. I think it's good. I think nowadays you don't have that. Like especially now because of the magazines of artistic magazine, the Rolling Stones, or you know, the XXLs as far as hip hop is concerned, and R&B, and the Source magazines, and like it's always once the artist has arrived.
Oh, got you. Right.
You know, it's
they're
never
not even looking at you if you're.
Yeah, like they might have a section where it's like up and coming.
Right.
But those people that are up and coming are really established and are not really up and coming
and they're
commercially, but they're already there. Yeah. But there's another level of you coming from the underground, doing the hole in the wall clubs and bars and scenes and stomping around. But it's really good talent, and there's a grassroots movement there. So would you say you have a grassroots movement? Is this a little more of like a grassroots movement magazine?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I mean, we would like for it to get bigger. We would like
of course.
You know, eventually not have to print single copies.
Well, one day we're gonna get there.
Yeah. We would eventually love to see people like to walk into a bookstore or flipping Walgreens one day and like have like Seven Circle next to Bound by Ink or something like that. It'd be awesome.
Right.
So
yes, definitely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Seven Circle magazine.
Yeah,
incredible magazine.
We'll get there. Oh yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right at the moment we publish bi-monthly. Yeah. So every other month. But we might rework some things in the coming, either later in this year or beginning of next year. We may decide to maybe do either quarterly or every month. We're trying to figure that out. But right now, every other month. You can hit us up on Facebook. We're on Facebook.
What can they find you on Facebook?
Seven Circle Magazine.
Seven Circle Magazine on Facebook. Right now, I'm not going to say our only avenue. We have a website as well.
Yeah, alldip20.com.
Say it again.
alldip20.com/Seven Circle.
That's AWDIP. 20.com.
Can artists
messing it all up? Sorry.
Yes.
Can artists seek you guys out?
If you are an artist,
definitely.
You want to be featured, please drop.
Please, it makes it easier for us.
So much easier.
Oh my gosh, if you come to us and we check you out, it's
even like
you know,
you always want to reach out to people, and it's really easy to have a conversation with somebody.
Oh,
right.
When you're at an event and be like, hey, you're cool. Would you like to do this?
Right.
And they're always like, yeah, hit me up. And you hit them up, and they be like,
oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
What do you want again?
Right.
It's a struggle.
It
so
is. Oh,
I just
had
an artist.
Like
if you are an artist and you would like to be featured, I mean, we're not Ebony. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
but
no.
We will try our best to showcase you in the greatest light.
Oh
possible.
Man, we will make you look awesome. I'm also not only the editor. I'm also the graphic designer. So I will definitely I will make you look awesome. You send me some good pictures, and you're interesting in your interview and everything, or answering our questions or whatever. Oh man, my job is to find something to make you stand all the way out. You already stand out whatever you're doing, but I'm gonna make you fucking shine. That's what I do. It's what I take seriously. That's what I do. So, but yeah, if you come to us, I don't know. I like it better when they come to us because it shows that they're super eager and they're just waiting for somebody to do that. You know what I mean? To be
amenable to answering
exactly.
questions.
Oh my gosh! And sending you their pictures on time.
Yes.
All of that. It's sweet Jesus. When I come to you, I just had that experience. I was at a wedding. That wedding I told you about recently, and we were sitting next to this female rapper that we didn't know. And we were like, oh, okay. So we looked up her stuff, and we were like, okay, we want to interview you. And my sister interviewed her, and it was pulling teeth, getting questions out of her. But she's all over Atlanta doing shows and stuff on Instagram. But she still has yet to send me pictures. I'm like,
but that's another avenue as being an artist that I think what you guys are doing is so great, especially getting them now because it's almost like a teaching tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they know how to conduct themselves. For interviews and press and understanding that they also need that other side to it. Let me ask you something. how does it feel to be women owning this project, something that's yours, something that you guys believe in, and especially African American women, like that's in a pool where you're in there with the big boys now, and you're aspiring to go against the big boys.
I gotta say, I'm with Candace. That has not entered my brain.
I mean,
I kind of do it.
I do think about.
Is that something that factors in your brain?
It
not for me.
It never did.
I do think about being black and owning something that is not traditionally black.
Ooh, I'm about to agree with that.
You know, culturally, it's not. You know,
yes.
and
I gotta say, whenever I even mention the magazine, people are just like, "Oh my gosh, really? You do that?" And I'm like, "It's a magazine." Like you know what I mean? Like to me, I can say it's nothing, but I personally, because I'm a graphic designer, I'm an artist, I've always wanted a magazine, quite honestly. And so now that I'm actually doing it, it's kind of like, this is kind of what I've kind of always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when people are like, oh my gosh, like you're asking me right now, like, well, how does it feel? And it's like, first of all, it feels natural. Never mind. But, like, it feels natural for me just in general. But, like, yeah, people are just bewildered. Like, oh my gosh, you do that? Why? Like, how? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes from black people, sometimes it's like, huh, well, that's interesting. What made you want to do that? It's like...
With our previous editor, we had a situation where a person assumed that they didn't want to interview black people. Like, oh, you know, you put white girls on a pedestal. And like, you know, we had to break down to them, we will take whoever you are.
We will.
We do not discriminate.
We will. No, not at all.
And especially when it's like really pulling teeth getting whoever it is sometimes.
Sometimes
like,
it is.
You know, if you have a dope art that we love, even if we don't love it, it's still dope to somebody.
Right. Exactly.
I am all about that. You know, I have interviewed people who like, look, your stuff's creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to process
had some creepy people in
but I know somebody's gonna love it.
Yeah, right.
And I had like that Lisa Frank on acid chick, and I'm like, I can't get with you. But these colors,
she was intense,
amazing.
Oh, she was intense, but she was
everything
awesome.
About her was intense, and like
her personality.
You could feel it in the spread. It's like, I don't care if I don't like you. Yeah, somebody's gonna love this shit. Man.
Because I think
she's out of Chicago too.
Yeah.
I think
one of the things that it's so cool about music, art, anything that's under art, music, performance art, that umbrella, and just art in general, is that's where ethnicity and race drop. They play no longer a part. Because music transcends over all cultures. And it's supposed to. Art, you can be black, you can be white, you can be Indian, you can be Chinese. But everybody can love everybody can love an artist. Right. Everybody can love a painting. You know, everybody can recognize and see, you know,
and have a different reaction
and have different reactions to it, but everybody can feel it, and everybody can enjoy it, and everybody can embrace it. And me being culturally different and growing up different than you does not escape the fact that I like it, and you like it for whatever whatever reason you like it for. I like it for whatever reason I like it for. But at the end of the day, it's still liked. And so now we can have a conversation that might lead to other barriers being broken down based off of this art, this subject, this thing that we can hold dear to ourselves for whatever reason. But we can share that. Right. The most interesting thing when I go to a concert, I always look at the crowd. And everybody's like, well, why do you do? I always have an outer body experience, and I look at the crowd because I say, well,
who else is enjoying this? Like
everybody doesn't know everybody in here unless you came with somebody. Yeah. But we're all here on one accord to enjoy this particular subject matter, and that's a really deep thing. It's
a version of fellowship to me.
Oh,
it is.
Yes,
it is. And we all walk out and we all go our separate ways.
Yes. But all while we're there,
we're
like,
you were
touched.
You were touched because we were all rocking out to the same thing.
Exactly.
But now, once we walk out, and it's amazing. Like as soon as you walk out, you would think that you just first of all, it's fact you just shared something with somebody that while you were on the floor and they were in the balcony, that maybe a year from now you might meet in your local bistro or pub, and you're like, well, I saw
having chowder.
Stop it.
Yeah, oh God, having chowder. That's a little inside joke. But you can meet and you could say something as if, oh well, I saw Jill Scott, or I saw Dave Matthews Band, and I was here and I was there, and I was here in '97. You're like, oh well, I was there too, and then all of a sudden,
like they run at the House of Blues.
And then you have this. Now all of a sudden, this wall is now knocked down, and now there's
a connection.
There's a connection there happening, and it's the most brilliant thing about art. That's why I think it's great what you guys are doing at Seven Circle. Because it's not just geared to one specific art. You're covering the whole umbrella. Or people. Yeah. And that's not what a lot of these major facets are doing. I think that's pretty cool. So you guys came in, and it's an interesting story about your plane ride, Sharita, that you wanted to ask me, and I said, well, we can do it on the show.
Put smooth on the
and
okay.
I told you I'd answer it because
the segue would have been a little cleaner. You know.
Well, we're moving along here. Cigarettes and bad decisions. We don't have time to sit here and bullshit and tell lies.
Look, we have to talk about your bullshit magazine the whole time, bitch. Okay, we talk about bullshit because your magazine doesn't sound like a bad decision. So
clearly that's a good decision. But there's a bad decision.
Check us out. We've been around for 3 years, so check us out. But anyway, all right, we're moving around.
There's a bad decision that just came about. That we want to discuss. A really, really bad decision. So let's go with it. Hit me with it. I'm ready. I'm ready to answer the question. Go.
Okay. No, just no. Okay. So all right, we're moving into the bad decision segment. So I was on the plane. What's funny is, first of all, I made my reservation late as hell. I don't know. I gotta tell this story because it's funny to me. Okay, so all right, I'm
gonna tell you what. We're gonna rank this by cigarettes on how funny this is out of 5.
It's not hilarious. It probably wouldn't be hilarious to other people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not that funny. It was just funny to me because I do things like this, and it ended up working the fuck out. So
okay, go with it.
Made my reservation late as fuck. Right, exactly. Made my reservation late as fuck on American Airlines, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Made it, and it was a little pricey, but it was like it was worth it because I wanted to come home. So okay, cool. So I bought my ticket, and then 3 days later I'm on the plane. 3-4 days later I'm on the plane, and I'm like, oh, my plane, my seat number is like a single digit, and I'm like, oh, I'm in first class, and I'm like, oh, I just cracked up in myself. I'm like, is this a right flight attendant lady?
Bought a first class flight?
I really did.
How does somebody do that?
Hold on, it was the cheapest flight though.
Wow.
Not to mention, I wanted to leave at a certain time, so I mainly bought it for the time, but it was the cheapest.
And
it was the cheapest.
Never did it occur to you while you were online that you were buying first class?
No. Gotta tell you. Hey, call me what you will, but I seriously...
I don't even know if that's...
There's always
I just went through it because I was like 7:30, I get off work at 5, I'm on the plane, I'm right there. I just paid for it because I was like, this time works. Yeah. Exactly.
So you gotta win.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the plane, you got the win, you're feeling good.
I gotta tell you, even though, because usually I'm used to like board my plane late as hell, so I'm looking at the bitch says first on it. Okay, this is how retarded I am. So, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait, and I'm listening to them call the groups and classes. I'm really not paying attention. I'm like, I'm gonna get on and just find a seat and whatever, because I'm used to Southwest, and Southwest don't assign seats, so I'm like, whatever. I get on, and sure as shit, as soon as I get on, I'm like, oh, my seat's right there. Oh, yeah. Looked at my ticket, I'm like, that bitch says first class, you stupid person. Like, really? You could have been on this plane already. As soon as I get on, they're like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, well, damn.
Having a good time.
Then didn't have to pay for it. Bitch got 2 Jack and Cokes. I was like, I'm going to need for you to make that. I need another one, yeah.
So anyway. You're Jack and Coked up in first class.
See, when you said Coked up.
Hey.
We are
I'm moving this along.
Up. No Coke over here, okay? Let me throw that out of there. I don't do Coke. Don't do any drugs.
So, Sharita Woodard, 7 Circle editor, Jack and Coked up on a plane in first class
Jack
and doesn't know it.
Sorry.
Doesn't know that she bought a first class ticket, is now in first class, and what happens next?
Alright, so I'm sitting next to this guy or whatever. And, we're talking or whatever. He offered me some of his snacks, which, I don't know. You get free snacks, apparently. I was in heaven.
Conversations are.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And I picked snacks that weren't his snacks, so he's like, have some of my snacks. They're delicious.
You got a
I'm like, all right.
snacks going.
Pretty much. Got snacks going, got booze flowing. It's a good time, okay?
Normally
it's a good time.
you're going to hear something kind of wonky after that.
Pretty much. How was Coach, Candace? Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway.
Oh, shade. Okay. All right. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Remember now, when the show's over, you still got to walk out the studio with this one.
She loves me. She's not going anywhere. But anyway, I'm not either. But anyway, I gotta say that. So anyway, he's talking about, he's asking me my opinion on this crazy story that he brings up about his friend. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he's like, well, I have a friend who is dating this girl. And apparently she came to him with a problem. And I'm like, oh, here we go, So I'm like, how's this about to play out, So he's like, yeah, he started dating this girl. And apparently right when they started dating, her car started acting crazy. And she had to junk it. Okay, cool. So he took it upon himself to go and buy her a car. Like, no financing or anything, like cash car, bought it outright,
and it was
gave it to her. It was an older car. It was like 14 years old.
Yes,
it was a
2002
Hyundai. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
it's lightweight. Does
quality older car?
I was gonna say right. So
it's not a Ford.
Let's get to it.
So he bought her a car. Okay, all right. So apparently her problem was that she came to him and was like, yeah, this was cute and everything, but like his friend apparently drives an Audi. So she was like, yeah, this car you bought me, yeah, thanks and everything, but like you're driving an Audi, like I need to drive one too, because according to her, a real man, quote unquote, would not let his woman drive around anything less than what he's driving around in. Mind you, they've only been dating, he told me, I think 2 months. Like I don't even think it was that. Like they just started dating and he bought her a car. And
I'm still stuck on, bitch, you're lucky to not be walking right now.
Right, like I'm surprised that motherfucker didn't buy her bus passes, quite honestly. This bitch got a car and apparently she's complaining that it wasn't an Audi. So
and your question for myself and my
I mean, I'm asking your opinion as a male. I mean, like what is your position on that whole situation just in general, but like are you out here buying bitches cars? I mean, I'm just curious.
Man.
I'm just curious. Are you playing car ferry with these hoes in these streets? I mean,
Wow. Car ferry with hoes in streets.
I feel like this is a lot.
I just feel like I just got that past 7 minutes just was a swirl of
I didn't mean to drag
of
that
gin
far,
and tonic. No,
more like gin and
I don't have a problem.
Is that a bad decision?
What's happening is it might not be just a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is somebody's ungrateful.
As fuck.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, it can be viewed as a bad decision. Like on a scale of 1 to 5, being a bad decision, if anything, this guy is out $3 or $4 grand for buying a car cash for somebody that needed a car. Now it's all based on his opinion of it. If they do the breakup and she no longer wants to be with him because he bought her car, guess what? I'm pretty sure she's not going to leave the car at the house and go on foot. She's going to take the car that she doesn't like, that he bought her, and drive off. Ungratefully.
Right. Ungratefully, wow.
Ungrateful.
Right. Because clearly the bitch is ungrateful in general. I'm sorry,
but
that's my opinion.
But if you're dating 6 months at best, to put up, I guess, a price on them being close, a lot of people can become extremely close in 6 months. It all depends on the time within the 6 months.
Granted.
Somebody that sees and talk to somebody once a week for 6 months as opposed to you're with them and you talk to them all the time, it's that slice of the pie. Everything is,
Candace brought
tomato,
that up.
tomato. It all depends on how close they actually were.
Right.
However, if he is driving luxury automobile, in her situation, whatever it is, but that's like saying, but if you're upset that he's driving a luxury automobile and you're not, or he didn't purchase you one and you needed a car, it's like saying, okay, well, I'm upset because you have a really good job.
Pretty much.
I don't have a really good job, and I just lost my job. So get me a job where you work.
Yeah.
Well, if he's a fucking engineer,
yeah,
and you see what I'm saying?
Right, and you're a social worker. Right, quick, hey, no disrespect to social workers.
But that's clearly it's a different monetary thing happening right there. So if he was my friend, and he told me that she was complaining, I would.
What would you say?
I would say, hey, you might want to tell her she's kind of ungrateful, and she,
kinda.
And
I'm surprised that bitch had balls to even come to him and say that.
I'm really shocked that she would say something like that as well. But if the question is, what hasn't she said then? Because if she had the balls to come say and be offended by that, then what is he willing to deal with at that point?
Not to mention, I don't know.
It might not be that bad.
I'm coming from the angle of also, what kind of guy is he? Because like I said, I don't know no motherfuckers that's out here buying bitches' cars off ripping. I don't know you.
Well, there's a lot of guys.
You have to think about what his disposable income is, too.
Exactly. What he's allowing to be frivolous
what
spending.
Type of investment he saw in her.
Exactly.
Like, buying her, $4,000 to him might not be anything. He might have had that shit lying around the house or something like that.
Exactly. If he's got it lying around the house and he knows his girl needs a car, and the car that he bought, I'm pretty sure, obviously, first of all, was better than her last car. I'm assuming due to the fact that her car just broke down.
Right.
So anything that was running was better than her last car.
Granted.
And I'm pretty sure he was not going to do anything if he cared about her. If he cared enough to buy her a car, he wasn't going to buy her just anything that would put her in a position again to be walking or the car break down or be unsafe. If he cared about her, which clearly he did. He did. There was, at some point, he cared about. We can say that. We'll assume that he did. Okay. Because like Candace said, with disposable income, guess what? If some guys are willing to come out here and drop $20,000 in the fucking strip club and they don't know them, guess what?
Good point.
If they can do that, then surely they can come out here and spend $5,000 on a chick that they might kind of like or care about. Because they perform sexual favors with each other, and you know what? I'll buy you a car for $5,000 for whatever reason. Because if I have enough money where $5,000 isn't nothing to me, and I'm just trying to do something nice, I can do that. We can break up, and I don't have any harsh feelings about it at all.
Because I threw the money away.
I was going to throw that money away anyway. You see what I'm saying? It all depends on socially and economically where you are. So this answer can be different in a million different ways. So there's no right or wrong answer.
No, I don't think it's a right or wrong.
At all.
I don't get me wrong,
clearly,
but my thing is that bitch sound ungrateful as fuck. Like,
okay, so your problem is with her, but if you're asking me, you can say your problem's with her, but to say that somebody, like, I don't know any guys that are doing that, well, I can tell you what.
I'm sure there are. I just don't know them.
We are recording this from Chicago. We can clearly go down on Rush Street, and you can put on some high heel shoes.
Oh, I'm sure,
nice
and
dress,
get a car right quick.
And you can go down there and get a car right quick with no questions asked. Like, I'll introduce you to a bevy of gentlemen that'll do that.
I wouldn't recommend that.
I was going to say, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not about that life. So, I'm straight, but I mean, I was just asking from the male, I was like, wow, of course the guy on the plane was like, I told him she's ungrateful and, you need to drop her or whatever, but apparently he seems to, obviously he cares about this chick, like, he hasn't known her very long and he bought a bitch a car, but I'm like, man.
Okay.
I don't know who those guys are, but honestly,
we got to get you starting to move around so you can meet guys like that and guys not like that.
I don't
and you
know.
can find somebody in between.
But I might be. I'm a skeptic because I don't know. Like if I meet a guy like that, it's like, okay, what are you trying to do? Like I don't even know. I don't even know.
Exactly. You don't even understand.
What are you trying to do that you're buying me a car and we just met, like, or we just started dating? Like, what are you trying to do, sir?
All right, that's part of the interview process. All right.
No, you're right, but. Yeah, because you know how guys...
Any guy looking to date the editor of Seven Circle magazine.
Really, Candace?
And Candace is over here.
Candace done checked out of the conversation.
Well, she's handling business, clearly. She's on there taking notes. She's also helping you out. She
is, but I'm still going to talk shit. No, definitely. Oh, yeah, she is. Candace is helpful as fuck, but I'm still going to talk shit about her.
All right, so let's go. When was the last time you smoked a cigarette?
Last night.
Last night. Candace, when was the last night?
I'm a
cigarette?
social smoker.
Why don't we just like get this whole kit and caboodle? I smoked a cigarette last night, and my bad decision was the E&J.
You drank E&J brandy
I
last
did,
night.
and the copious amount of sangria that I made, it was delicious.
Delicious and a bad decision this morning.
Until I smelled the hot dogs.
Will you? Okay.
Helping keep other people sober.
Okay. That sounds all horrible. Okay. And Sharita, what was the last bad decision you made?
Sweet Jesus. Really? You want this month or last month? Where are we going? This week or last week?
I think we got it right now.
No, the most recent like really bad decision, because that is the premise.
It was something
of this show, because I told you.
well, let's get into it real quick,
okay.
Because before we wrap up, you are again the co-founder of this show. I myself. New producers, and
I definitely came up with the title.
You came up with the title, and it was an amazing title, and we played with it for maybe about a week and a half, until we figured out we can do something with it, and you woke up one morning after a long night of drinking.
This is
and smelled like cigarettes and bad decisions.
I did. I text you, and I was at the bar. I hang out by myself. I don't care. So yeah, went out and caught some dinner and hung out at a bar and met some real interesting people. Usually when you go to bars by yourself, you meet some fabulous, and I ain't gonna say fabulous, but you meet some interesting individuals.
Good time.
Oh my goodness.
Always a good time.
Man, I make friends every time I go.
Right.
So this particular night, I went to this college bar, but I went there and met, I swear, the Benetton colors. I met this really fine African American lady. She was really dark skinned, and her husband was white as snow. He was from straight Norway. They looked so mismatched, but they were cool as fuck. And I got with them, and their friend was from Finland, and he was like, "You're attractive." He's white guy, but he was cool as shit. So then they were like, "Come and hang out with us, man." Next thing you know, I was only there for a drink or two. I was gonna go home, keep it moving. I shut the bar down. It was about 4 a.m. till I got home. We smoked a bunch of cigarettes, and I was trying not to even smoke that night. They were just so cool. They just welcomed me, and I'm like, okay. And then they had another friend that was from France. Seriously, everybody was from a different country, and they were like, we all hang out together. You're really cool.
At the United Nations.
Exactly. It was the United Nations night. It really
American friend.
Right. I was. Seriously, I was.
You were the Westerner.
I was. So, we were all talking shit and shooting shit. Everybody has I'm sorry. Everybody has accents but me. That kind of thing. But anyway, it was a fun night. But, shut it down.
Text me the next morning.
I was going to say, went to sleep and, text him. I woke up with this terrible hangover, and I was just like, man, I smell like cigarettes and bad decisions. And he could not stop laughing, even on text messages.
Yeah,
he was just
hilarious. I'd never heard
he was
that.
like, where the fuck did that come from? And then I broke it down, and he was like, that's hilarious.
And it was awesome, and we thought about it, and we kicked it around, as they say, and we've now started this show. And it's growing. It's going to be great.
My last bad decision.
So, ladies, thank you for coming in. 7 Circle Magazine.
Yes, find us on Facebook.
Hit us up if you want to be on our subscription notice. We will email you.
Time waits for no man. Don't waste a second being bitter, bound by the past, hurts and pain.
Back on the other side, Coffee Black, Cigarettes and Bad Decisions. We are in the building with Natasha Brewer, a songwriter, and has a new project out now called the Infinite Love Project, which is extremely interesting. Natasha, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. What was your motivation behind the project?
The motivation behind the Infinite Love Project was actually sparked by my son's friend who was actually contemplating suicide. So she had gotten to a point where she just thought there was no way out. She was stressed. Last year of school, she didn't feel supported by her family. And it just kind of sparked, like, there's so many people out here struggling and dealing with feeling lost and not loved. And just to share that or express that to people and let them know that people are feeling this way, and to let them know that love can heal, love can make things better.
And this is a EP, a LP?
This is an EP, a total of 5 songs on it. The songs are Silent Tears, Know Me, Dreamcatcher, Watch Party, and the title song, Infinite Love.
What can people expect from the project? Because you're a songwriter, would you consider yourself an artist too, or a songwriter is just under your plate?
Songwriter under my plate. I think people can expect for each song to explore different emotions, like Silent Tears, for example, how people can portray happiness on the outside. All the time they're depressed or they're down, they don't feel worthy. So just going through those type of feelings and emotions to let them know, or to show people that these are the type of situations that people are dealing with, and to tell the people that are dealing with this type of situation that it's okay to express your feelings. If you're down, let people know that you're down, and people will be there to help you.
With the project, like what were some of your inspirations growing up as far as music is concerned?
Some of the artists that, of course, Motown was one of the big influences. Growing up, I lived behind the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C., and behind there, some of the greatest artists came through, and I could hear those sounds resonating from the building. My mother sung. They just loved, like, the Temptations and just that feel-good music. That's what I enjoy, and that's what I love about music.
With that being said, who do you listen to now? To me, I think R&B right now is not what it was. Of course, 70s, 80s, early 90s, R&B to me held a higher regard in the music industry, and now it just seems fickle at best. I mean, there's a few artists out there that are trying to keep it afloat, but the true essence of R&B to me has less. What is your take, your hot take on where R&B is right now?
I absolutely agree with everything you said. I rarely listen to the radio, so on my playlist, I'm listening to 80s, 90s music. Some of the artists today that I do listen to, I did enjoy, like Tyrese's Black Rose. I think he was trying to bring back that feeling of what R&B was. I just discovered this artist. I don't think he considers himself R&B, more alternative, but Quabs. So I discovered him like this week, and he's phenomenal.
Okay.
So yes, there aren't too many. I think it's nowhere near where it was like back in the 80s and 90s.
Being a songwriter, if somebody came to you that wasn't in R&B, that wasn't in that particular genre, was more into alternative or pop or easy listening, how difficult is it being just a songwriter? Is it just like writing, I don't know, an essay, or is like the journal? Like, what's your process when you get something in your head? Okay, I need to jot this down. Like, this could be a song. Like, what is your process?
So my process is basically jotting it down, like you said. If I have a track, to listen to it and let it, basically speak to me, and then kind of develop the song from there. As a songwriter, you have to be diverse, in the meaning that you can't just focus on the R&B, because that's what I'm used to. I would consider Infinite Love more on the pop side of the house. So that's my process, to listen to the song, listen to the beat, listen to the concept to kind of develop the song.
Okay, so let's go through these tracks too. I want to go through them with you. We'll start with Know Me. What was the process behind Know Me?
So Know Me is kind of the first song that I wrote from that kind of the situation that I spoke to earlier about the young lady contemplating suicide, and just going through the feeling of someone, what their state of mind may have been to even consider suicide. Going through the first verse is about, okay, I don't think anyone loves me. What would it be if I wasn't here? Then to visualize the impact, the devastation of not, if you taking your own life, will have on your family. Because I think a lot of people don't consider that when going through the emotions. They're so focused on how they're feeling, but they don't realize the devastation that it causes to the people that love them, that truly love them. They didn't realize it. The last verse is about realizing it and then recognizing that you are loved.
I can get with that. I can get with that. Let me tell you something. I have suicidal thoughts all the time. It's a joke, people.
People do love me.
Right, yeah, yes. You must say that to yourself, though. People know me. Believe in me.
Right.
Sing.
Right.
Let's go in the silent. I thought that was kind of interesting.
So Silent Tears is basically about going through life with a happy face, with a smile on all the time, not letting people in to know your true emotions, your true hurt. Basically, the strength thing. Some women are like showing emotions is a sign of weakness, but it's okay to show that you're hurt. It's okay to embrace those emotions. You don't have to be tough all the time and suffer in silence. That's the basis of that song, to say it's okay to share your feelings. Don't be in an eternal hell, because it's only going to hurt you. You're going to end up getting sick, and you're going to end up doing more emotional and physical damage to yourself.
I guess we'll just keep on going down the line. Watch Party. Like when I look at the list, Silent, Know Me, Dreamcatcher, Infinite Love, Watch Party kind of stands out because of the title. And so that was one of the first ones, like Watch Party. Like, wow, that doesn't seem to fit until you listen to it. So you just go ahead and just talk about Watch Party for a second?
Sure. Watch Party, because you would think, listening to it, as you said, it wouldn't fit into the whole, this infinite love is all about love. But the meaning of the song is basically that loving yourself. Okay, you're going to have critics. You're going to have people standing on the sideline, criticizing you all the time. They're not doing what they need to do to progress in life. They're watching you. So continue doing what you're doing, and just don't worry about them. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about what they have to say, what they're doing. Keep focused and keep pressing forward. I liked one of the lines of the song when it was like, it's your season. We were all put here for a reason. That's facts. I'm like, you can't worry about the next person.
Yeah, most definitely. It is a really positive, uplifting project with Infinite Love, Silent Tears, Know Me, Dreamcatcher, the Watch Party. Like you said, it's very interesting to put that out right now, as it's different to have this. Like, you'll see randomly now, you may see artists, upper echelon artists here, there, like put something like, what were your views behind Beyonce's Formation? Which I know was kind of like out of left field, but I got to ask you, being a songwriter with all the scrutiny that she was under, you having this project out and trying to uplift people.
Right.
What was your views behind lyrics behind the Formation and everything with that album, which was an incredible album?
I agree with that. I was disappointed at the response from people, because she was trying to unite people. And she addressed everything that the critics were saying, and I love that about the album. From people of color, Black women, criticizing how she kept her baby's hair, to the whole Illuminati thing and everything. I think that she's basically saying, why aren't we together? Stop putting down the next person. Let's get in line and address the issues that truly issues. Stop worrying about the next person. Let's be together, support each other so we could get ahead.
Do you think her direction in trying to uplift women, Black women in Black culture, and just tell them that I felt like even she was trying to get the point across with this album, that even though I'm a celebrity and you guys hold me in the rafters, the queen of the beehive and all that, still go through the same problems. I still have relationship problems or marital issues, no different from any of you. That's the accountant. That's the librarian. That's the cashier in Walmart. We are all still women. We all still the same. We still go through the same stuff. I think the response, I want to get your take on it. The response from the majority of the album was what her and Jay-Z went through, but it was so much more on the album that I think people just focused on that as if that's what the album was about. And it was so much more essence in the album.
Right. I think people just get so locked in and so closed-minded about certain things. So they like just laser focus on the negative part. Like you said, it was so much more. The whole Lemonade was so much more than just her, the infidelity or in her marriage. It was about love. It was about lessons from a dad. It was about so much more than just, oh, you cheated on me. Her husband cheated on me. How could he? Who is Becky with the good hair? You know? It was like, so I'm like, come on, you missed the whole point of the album.
As
like,
a songwriter,
we all go through trials. When you go through the trials, you make the best out of them. You move forward. It's not about just the cheating.
As a songwriter, do you view music differently than do you think you view music differently? Like, for instance, if we're listening to a song together, is there certain things you're picking up that other people aren't when you're listening to a song?
So. I think so, because there was one situation where I told you, I just discovered Quabs, right? And so I asked my friend, I said, check out this guy. He's dope. And so all I got back was, oh, his voice sounds so amazing. I'm like, did you listen to the song? Did you hear the lyrics? Did you understand what he was talking about? What was your take on it? Oh, I just like the beat. It's like, I think I do listen more in tune with what the meaning of the song.
Well, do you have any tips? That anybody out there that's like trying to write a song or trying to release their emotions or things they have bottled up inside into lyrical form? Like, do you have any tips for writers out there, in particularly songwriters?
Just don't be afraid to express your true feelings, you know? Well, I know when I first started, I was like, oh, that's too much. I didn't want to share too much of my feelings or things that I went through. But it's okay. That's a part of the process. By you sharing what you went through, it will get to someone else going through. So it's all about helping. For me, it's like helping people understand that basically, like you said, with Beyonce's Lemonade album, we all go through the same things. It may not be at the same levels, but we basically go through the same thing.
Talk about your company, Resonation Entertainment, and the movement behind it.
Like we stated before, the state of music is kind of disappointing. Right. So I was like, oh, come on, we have to do better. So my contribution to that is to give products that are of quality and have meaning, because I think that's what's missing in today's music. It's just more about the beat to me. Mm-hmm. So you have a hot beat, you on the radio, but I can't understand anything you're saying.
Right.
So that's kind of the objective of Resonation Entertainment, is to give products that are quality, that music that has meaning, you know, feel good, inspirational, not just about cars and money, but about real life stuff.
Do you find that it's, understand a movement and we need a movement like that, but I would think that is extremely difficult when you look at it now in a generation now, as opposed to back then where lyrics were everything along with the beat or the instrumental of music. But now it seems like today, especially in this generation and the generation coming up now, it is only the beat. It is only the instrumental. They totally ignore what's being said to them. I mean, it's definitely getting into their subconscious minds if you look at the state of the world, especially in urban society and where it's at. So I believe the lyrics are getting to them, but they're quite frankly piss poor lyrics, you know, in music right now. And as opposed to back in the day in the 70s, 80s, where, you know, the lyrics were everything to our parents. They were everything. The Motown, the Beatles, those lyrics meant a lot. The Led Zeppelins of the world, even in rock, the lyrics was something great in country. But as far as certain genres of music now, it it's only the is that also part of the movement? I'm asking, like, to try to get lyricism back equal, or trying to topple back above the instrumental, which I'm sure people don't think about, but it's definitely been happening for quite some time now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I have a teenager. It's like, what are they talking about? Do you know the meaning? Do you know what they're saying? You know, so I constantly ask, like, you like that song, but why? And trying to get them to think of why. You know, it's more of a receptive type. Okay, just give me what you have. I don't care what. Just if it's I like that beat. I don't care what you're telling me. You can tell me to jump off the building.
Right.
It's just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of how this generation is, and with the electronics, social media. It's like right now, it's no attention. They don't pay attention. It's just like what feels good right now. So it's definitely a part of the movement to try to get people to step outside of that, to really listen and really appreciate the art.
Sweet. Good deal. Natasha Brewer, the Infinite Love Project. Tell people where they can find the Infinite Love Project and where they could contact you if they want you to help write them a song or be a ghostwriter for them.
Sure. Our website is resonationentertainment.com. I could be reached at nbrewer@resonationentertainment.com. We also have Facebook, which is the Resonation Entertainment Group. We're on IG as Resonation_Entertainment and Twitter as NationREG.
Okay. Thanks for coming in, Natasha. This is fascinating. I'm going to look forward to hearing more from you and following this grassroots movement you got going on.
Thank you all so much for having me. It was greatly appreciated. Thanks for your support. I look forward to listening to you guys going forward.
All right. Hopefully we can get you to laugh. Normally I would end this segment by throwing you completely off, asking you when was the last time you smoked a cigarette or made a bad decision. But because this was so positive and uplifting, I feel that would be kind of crass. And I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to save that on the other side. We'll be right back. Cigarettes and bad decisions. What's up? What's going on? It's good to be back. Your host, Koffe Black, in the building. Cigarettes and bad decisions. Coming live from O'Donovan's Irish Pub out in Irving Park with the one and the only Mark Laval. I'm pretty sure my producer engineers right now, he's my new producer engineers right now sitting there saying, you're already mispronouncing this guy's name. Already, hey, the first guest on the show.
30 seconds, dude. You know what I mean? It's a good smooth 30 seconds right there.
30 seconds in, and somehow, some way, I've already messed up your name. It's okay. It's okay. I promise throughout the 30 minutes is going to be better than
It's all good, man. A lot of people pronounce my name. Like, I get Laval. Laval is the right way to say it, but I get like Lavalley.
Oh man!
I'm like, I don't know where you saw a Y in my name. You know what I'm saying? But my last name, I don't even get upset about people mispronouncing my last name because I know it's kind of unique. But my first name is what I get. That's my pet peeve.
Because it's just Mark.
It's just Mark. And people like to add the us to it. You know what I mean?
Like, because naturally. Naturally because you're black.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because I'm like, yo, Marcus, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just Mark. You know what I mean? Respect my name.
No, I understand. I totally understand.
Birdman, respect my name.
Put some respect on it. Yeah, so, man, good to have you on. Our first guest, our first feature guest on Cigarettes and Bad Decisions. I remember meeting you. We met at Patsy's. Months ago now. Yeah. In Chicago, downtown, which is a bar that does open mic nights for comics. And
Friday nights.
I remember I came in and I didn't sign my name. It was like 10 o'clock, and we were like the last two, and we were performing in amongst like 10 people. And I'm like, man, this is really bad. Like this
That's when, as a comic, you start thinking about life decisions.
Yeah, I immediately thought, you know what?
Like maybe I should have got my name.
Maybe I should have stayed over and just worked this overtime this weekend.
Yeah,
this might not be working out. No, man, you went up before me, and I remember seeing you. I was like, man, wow,
this guy's in here working on material late, but this guy's really good. Like you had, I don't know whatever that it is we were discussing, you have it. And I just wanted to have you on, man. And then a couple times after that, I was like, yeah, he's got the eye. You know what I mean? Like Denzel said in the training day, he got the eye, Hoyt. Like this guy.
Well, I think that first night we met, my girl was out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so like I didn't know she was gonna come out, and I had like some new stuff written.
Okay.
And then she came out, and this was like when we first started dating. This was like the first mic she saw me do.
Right.
So I was like, all right, fuck this new shit. Let me go to some like material that like is polished, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other few times you saw me, like that was more newer stuff that I've been working on. So
yeah, man, brilliant stuff. The Chicago's not really known for the comedic scene. I don't think it is. When I think of comedic scenes, I think of New York, I think of L.A., California. I don't really think of Chicago. Well, because of Second City, with the sketch comedy and the writing ability, a lot of comics have come out of Chicago, and Jokes and Oaks, and we got a Laugh Factory now. But it's just as far as Zanny's, there's a few spots, but as far as that genre, that comedic genre, it has a great comedic scene. I just don't feel like it's not as known. What is your views on it?
I think the scene here is really it's great, man. I mean, it's very supportive. You know what I mean? I can't compare it to LA or New York because I'm not out there like that.
Right.
But like, I feel like everybody is more supportive than it is competitive. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Where it's like everybody in the scene kind of brings their own appeal and has their own material, and it's like we all kind of like root for each other. Right. But it is kind of a community.
Yeah.
A comic.
You can tell.
That really like support each other and get along with each other, and it's a great base to start comedy.
Right.
I think it would be difficult to have a career as a comic in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you want to go anywhere from here, you can.
You can.
Because there's so many mics, 7 days a week out doing mics, multiple mics a night if you want to. You know what I mean? And it's a great base to
work on material and start doing stuff and get it going.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Like, so I know for me, people always say, oh, well, Koffe Black, you're a funny guy. Like, oh, you should do comedy, you're a funny guy. And I'm like, I never wanted to have to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to have to be funny, but somehow I found myself eventually in the world of comedy. And I remember my first time doing the stand-up, and I bombed, but the first time I did it, I was like, oh, man, like, I want to be one of those guys, and I'm like, I'm one of those guys now. Like, I gotta keep doing this. It was a feeling that was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this, and it wasn't for the fame or the success. Like, I just want this. It was something in it, and I think it was the camaraderie. Because when I met you that night, though, it was all comics there in the bar. The 90% of the people in the bar were comics working on the material. And it was whether you bombed or not, everybody was clapping. Oh, good job! This, that, and other. You laughed even if it was a bad joke. You laughed at a bad joke. You know what I mean? But it was a camaraderie that at first I've been a few other places I had not seen.
Yeah.
Amongst comics, and then you hear about people stealing jokes and material in other places, and I didn't get that vibe. I've been out on the scene now for a while. I don't have that vibe from this area that's what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like you were saying. So what made you decide that you wanted to be a comic? Like,
man,
like,
shout out to my boy Ed Towns. Actually, before I got into comedy a few years back. But before I got into that, I was more into acting.
Okay.
Theater and things of that nature. And it was actually on my birthday night, the first night I did comedy. First night I did a mic was at CIC.
Okay.
And my boy Ed, who had been doing it for years, he's a veteran, a Chicago veteran, and we would hang out, and I would go to open mics with him and see people, and it's just like, you know what, I want to try. I can try this. I know I can do better than some of these people. You know what I mean? And So it was my birthday night, and I was like, yo, man, I'm going to try to do some comedy. I'm going to try to do, an open mic. So we went to CIC. I got trashed.
All right.
And I had a bit that was written out. And then this crazy shit happened to me. Like, on the way there, I was in this cab, and people who know my material, like, they've heard me tell the story 1,000 times. But I was in this cab, and this white dude doesn't see me in the backseat of the cab. He's like, he's drunk as hell. And he opens the door and is like, what the fuck? A black dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I was just like, what? And the cab driver, like, she was just like Latino chick, so she looks in the back and like she's looking at me like, oh snap, like what you gonna do, bro? You know what I mean? And I just looked at her, I was like, man, I'm having a good night. It's my birthday, man. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not even gonna stress that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But after that happened, I had my notepad with me, and I just like immediately started writing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it just triggered something. I had to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I did that bit on stage, and it went pretty well. Like honestly, my first time was actually pretty good.
Okay.
But the thing is, because I had a theater background, I was okay with being in front of people, and I think that's half the battle for a lot of people that start out. So I mean, I had some material written, and then I also already was comfortable on stage. So my first set actually was a pretty good set. I'm not gonna say it was perfect, but it was decent.
Yeah, it was a decent set. Yeah.
And after that, it was just it's like crack, man. You know what I'm saying? This game is like crack, man. It's like after one taste, you either gonna want to keep doing it regardless of whether or not you do a bad job, bomb, or have a great set.
Right.
Or you're just gonna be like,
you're gonna crumble and you're gonna.
And that's it.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's I was listening to one of these sports guys talk about being a football player, and at an early age, whether you start in junior high, Pop Warner, high school, or you're an adult, you learn real quick once you get hit. Whether you can get up after you get hit, okay, then you're a football player if you enjoy it. But other than that, it's I think. Comedy, unlike any other performing art, any other artist, all artists are their worst critic.
Yeah.
You're hard on yourself, extremely. And with comedy, it's a different arena just because of the fact that it's just you, it's a mic, and you got a group of people that have come in, see you, make them laugh. It is direct.
Yeah.
You're a comedian. This is your job, to make me laugh. There is no gray area there. It's not a chuckle. I want to hysterically laugh.
Yeah.
I've had a bad day.
Right.
I've come out to this spot specifically to laugh. I need you to make me laugh.
Yeah.
There is no subpar. It's either one or the other, and you have to deliver. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure. But some people say, oh, well, I'm a comic. I do a good joke or a bad joke. If you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I heard Louis C.K. talk about it. A lot of times, if you don't laugh at my joke, it's fine. Don't laugh at my joke. Because everybody's humor is different.
Yeah.
And it might go over some people's heads. Some people like political comedy. Some people like intellectual comedy. Some people like slapstick. You know what I mean? It's all different versions. So the crowd is mixed. You don't know what you're getting. But you got to know your audience.
That's what's scary about it.
And it's
sometimes
so scary.
You don't know
the
audience until you get to a show.
The audience you get in Harvey, Illinois, is going to be totally different than from Bedford Park.
Yeah. That's just how it is.
Right. This is what it is.
South side Chicago versus North side Chicago. It's going to be different.
You're not going to be able to come in with the same jokes.
Yeah. Or if you do, you have to really.
You got to tailor.
Yeah, you got to tailor it to the crowd.
Yeah, to the crowd.
But it's still it's one of those things that when you go to when you're doing a showcase, you can feel a crowd out, unless you're the first comic. Those are the guys that when you're doing a showcase and you're the first comic, those are the guys I feel sorry for. And I've been the first comic on a showcase where I'm I have no clue what I'm walking into.
Right, at all.
I have no clue what these people are going to laugh at and what they're not. And it's a scary thing, man. But that's how you're that you're built for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how you know that you're built for this.
I gotta ask you right now. I don't want you to throw anybody on the bus, but because this is cigarette and bad decisions, I'm gonna have you throw some people on the bus right now. What was the worst joke you've ever heard since you've been out now? Like, do you remember anything you just saw somebody bomb and you were uncomfortable watching them bomb?
Okay, so this kid, he was probably like 22.
Right.
Maybe even young. He might have been like 20, 21. But he was a college student. You could tell he was just trying something out, right? And he was a fucking douchebag. Oh, this blonde white kid. He was, you know, he reminded me of like some Jersey Shore shit. Like at one point during his set, he even like pulled his shirt up to show his abs and shit.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And I never.
That's
like,
bad.
Yeah, as a fellow comic, man, I respect other comics. Like even if they're bombing, even if they do bad sets.
Right.
You know, even if they're talking about race or whatever, it's like that's your opinion, whatever.
Right.
But he said some shit that pissed me off. He said something about.
Can I bother one of you guys to take a picture of us?
Yeah. So real quick.
Yeah, we gotta address that.
We had. we must address what just happened, folks. You know what? I don't even want it to be edited out.
I know. I'm
because
in the middle
this
of a conversation.
We're live, and I wanted everybody to understand that we are live. We are live, and I apologize that I had to pause it so he could have time. I didn't want dead air, but I want to explain what just happened. What just happened. Now, we are sitting here on the patio, on the corner of Irving Park at O'Donovan's. Excuse me, which is a great pub.
Yeah.
And
we have a mic.
We have a mic. This is a mic.
At the table.
At the table. It's a mic. I'm here. He's here. There are... excuse me. Oh, Jesus.
There are about 30 people outside on the patio. Somehow... These two white women decided to pick the only two brothers who are obviously doing something to take a picture in the middle of their podcast.
It was so weird. I'm sitting here literally. I'm like,
was there nobody else?
It's probably 9 people that they walk past. They literally see us sitting here with a mic, a computer. It is equipment set up. You can actually tell that there's some. If I was to ask anybody out here right now, do you think they're doing something? Right. They're gonna say yes.
Yeah,
they're
doing something. I think they're doing something.
They might be doing something.
There is a microphone.
They're elderly. They're up there in age.
But that's not no excuse for not having common sense.
I don't even understand what just happened right there. And they wanted him to take a picture. They asked Mark to take the picture. They felt Mark's presence. They knew he might have been somebody important.
I think you should take this picture.
There's
I know you're
a
shit
plate
right
of nachos that is doing nothing but getting cold. Mark's got his beer out. He's enjoying himself. He's telling his story about some Jersey Shore guy, and immediately we're interrupted live by 2 elderly white women who wanted to take their picture taken.
It was a conspiracy.
It was a conspiracy. And they could have took a selfie. Her arm worked.
Because they came up right as I was telling the story about the Jersey Shore dude who was telling a racist joke.
Yes, it might have been her auntie. She wanted to stop you before you got racist.
We got to shut this down right now.
It felt like it. It really did feel like it. Okay, we're back. Oh, man. So go ahead. So he's lifting up his shirt.
So this dude, he's doing his bit. He lifts up his shirt like to show his abs or whatever. And then he did, and I can't remember the exact joke that he told, but it was something about he was dating a black girl.
Oh God.
And something about her being 3/4 a human. Or some shit like that.
That's bad.
And
that's bad, man.
I got so pissed off that I was looking for this dude literally after the show.
After the show, no shit.
Yeah, I usually don't get upset, but this guy was such a douchebag, like douchebag level 100.
It went beyond.
I'm like, I know people have told you before. I know somebody. You got to be smarter than this, man. And I don't know what I would have done if I found it.
I mean, I've been a part of shock comedy. I've seen some comics that they tote that line, and when you're a comedic, you have that license to tote that line.
But I never get pissed off.
But it's still a line.
Stuff. But it was like
because it's funny, and then it's a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a line.
It's a line. It wasn't clever.
It wasn't clever at all. It was just a straight up racist statement.
It was just a racist statement that he laughs with his homeboys.
Yeah.
And he thought it was funny, and he decided to throw it out there in the crowd, and he might have got jacked up after the show. I don't know what the statute of limitations is, folks, on wherever you are at, but I'm going to go ahead and say we're not going to say what you actually did, but I'm looking at him right now, ladies and gentlemen. If this was a visual show right now, I can neither confirm nor deny that Mark went out there. Something like that.
I may have found him. Who knows? Man?
Yeah. We don't know who's listening. They're always listening.
Apparently, they listened by coming up and asking us to take photos. We know they listen. It was really weird. I want to move on, but I can't because I can't get that out of my head right now. That was hilarious. But so, where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself staying in Chicago working on material, then probably moving out to one of the coasts? L.A. or New York.
L.A.
or New York, and I'm leaning more towards L.A. just because I also do acting too. So it's like one of those things where if I go to New York, it'll mostly be strictly comedy.
Right.
If I go to L.A., I can kind of explore both worlds, both lanes. So
which one do you want to do both? Do you feel
what's your strong suit? You know what it is?
Is your major theater and your minor is?
My minor was in theater. My major was in business management. So that's
all right. Okay.
But that's the power of your mom.
So,
you're gonna get a real job. I ain't spending this money to college.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin Hart's funny money.
Right. Yeah. But no, like as far as LA versus New York, LA to me has a lot. I mean, has a lot more to offer, and people still talk about even Atlanta. They're building a lot of studios in Atlanta now because of the taxes a lot less down there.
Cheap.
But there's still nothing like LA.
No.
It's just
LA or New York.
You want to make a living.
You want to make it. You want to get seen. That's where it is. You have to be. You want to be a shark. You got to go with a shark swim. It's simple. It is a very simple thing.
Point blank.
Yeah. It's a very simple thing.
But as far as acting versus comedy, I would say acting is like my first love. You know what I'm saying?
Your first love.
Acting's like what I compare it to. I compare it like acting is kind of like your wife. You're never going to leave, right? You love her to death. And comedy is like that mistress. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the side chick.
The side chick, but you kind of love her too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have a lot of fun with her.
Right.
Everything. The wife is the one that's like a little bit more responsible. That's actually going to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I feel about acting versus comedy. Like I'm always going to love acting just a little bit more.
Right.
But I love comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
No, that's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
And a doggy.
What is as we are being loudly interrupted by one of the waitresses who are very rude. I don't know what's more rude, what just happened there or her hair. I don't know. It's quite bright. That's what happens when you do a live show from on the spot from somewhere. You get ominous sounds, people. Don't let that mess you up. We've just had somebody come in and sit in with us. Mark Laval in with me, and also now we are joined by Ed Towns.
Ed Towns, yes, sir.
Ed, now are you a comedian? You're a comedian as well, also out of the city.
Yep.
How long you been doing comedy?
5 years, man.
5 years?
5 years.
Okay, so you got a good base. I was asking Mark earlier in the podcast. Sorry, guys, we're deviating from from that riveting conversation. The two comics sitting there talking about sports as if we know what the fuck we're talking about.
That's what we do, though. We take a little bit of information out because we know everything. Just fuck run with it.
Third string, baby. That ain't free.
Right. But Ed, so you 5 years in the comedic scene. All 5 years
all
in
Chicago.
All Chicago.
Chicago.
We were discussing the comedic scene in Chicago because I was saying earlier when you think of comedy and starting out comedy in the comedic scene, you don't think Chicago, you think New York, you think L.A.
If you're not from here.
If you're not from here, you say, okay, I want to be a comic. Where can I go? Automatically you think New York, you think LA because of the stars that have come out, but because of Chicago with Second City, the sketch comedy and all the great writers, and there has been a lot of prominent comedians that have come out of Chicago. What is your take on the scene in Chicago?
It's the best scene to start and grow, man. Really, because you come here, you can go straight to New York and LA, but you're in there full of sharks. You ain't gonna get no stage time out there, man. You know, like starting out, not knowing how to be funny, not even know how to be comfortable on stage. You can learn all that stuff in Chicago, and there's enough competition here to make you a better comedian.
Right. Okay.
And then by the time you go to New York, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My guy Josh Johnson, shout out homie. He just moved to New York November. And he spent his time here. We ran a couple shows together.
Right.
And now he just a week ago or 2 weeks ago got a writing job for Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I mean, but he always says, man, Chicago gave me the tools I need, and New York gave me the opportunity.
Right.
So you can't show up to a job without the tools. Chicago gives you all that tools.
Right.
And it's universal. If your jokes work here, they'll work anywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Sweet.
You know?
Sweet. Okay, so you've been in the game 5 years. What prompted you to say, okay, I want to be a comic?
Man, I always heard that, and I just didn't.
Was you just naturally, as growing up as a kid, like a funny guy, a funny kid?
I would hear
everybody would say, "Oh, you should be a comic. You should be a comic."
I always loved comedy. Like in high school, my mentor Bill Gorgo, he's a veteran comic out of Chicago. He was also my English teacher.
Okay.
And he had these classes called elective classes where you just pick what you want to do.
Right.
And he had intro to comedy. I took that at 16. You know.
You actually had an intro to comedy class?
Yes, taught you about setup, turn, punchline, all that stuff, slapstick comedy, old school, everything.
What school did you go to?
It was St. Greg's. It was a small school, but they would give these teachers 45-minute blocks to teach whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, hey, whatever's your thing, go ahead and do it. They have one was like a poetry class I signed up for 1 year, and another one was like intro to comedy, and that stuck with me. And years.
And honestly, man, not to cut you off, but that's to me why they need to seriously keep arts in school, man.
Right.
You know they definitely need to keep that up.
Because when you're at that age, that's when you start to really,
the reality,
like craft.
The dream is not crushed yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't get a girl pregnant. Don't get a mortgage.
Your dream develops.
No, right. Your dream isn't crushed yet. You know what I'm saying? So you can still I could do this.
Right.
Versus me at 26 realizing, I could do this. I got a late start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta figure out. Yeah. I gotta figure this out. I'm out here hanging out with guys at 20, 21. Like I'm 31 years old. Most of these cats are young, and they still got it in them, and it's hard to find that motivation, that balance between reality and your goals.
It's a dark place.
It's a dark place, right? These guys don't have that because they started right away. Right. It's like their dream was still fresh. They went to school for it and they went right into it, and that's what they need in schools more to keep that going. But no, I was with my ex and one of her friends, and this dude comes out. No, he came in with a satchel. So immediately I'm like, look at this dude. Oh,
like Indiana Jones.
No, more like a man purse. You know what I'm saying? Not the cool kind. So he came in with a satchel. I'm like, oh, look at this guy. He looks, I already could tell I don't like him. And then he opened up the satchel and put out some Bud Light. I was like, you know what? You got my points there, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember this trashing his couch. And he was like, another guy was like, hey, dude, you should do comedy. And I'm like, nah, I don't really got material. I'm just a funny dude. He was like, if you write this stuff down, you will be funny. I remember hearing that. I was like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. And I remember I was working electrical work. That was Saturday. I told him next time I get laid off, because you get laid off a lot in that field.
Yeah.
I'm going to do stand-up. That Saturday, that next Wednesday, I ended up getting laid off.
Okay.
Right when I said that speech. And I was like, you know what, whatever. I wrote some bits, bombed 15 minutes of some open mic at Jack's, and that was it. That was it. From there, I was just hooked. Just kept getting up.
Do you remember your first bit?
Yeah. It was about how gay dudes always got money no matter what.
Oh, shit.
So he's like, you'll go over a gay dude's house, like, man, you got a flat screen TV? You got a jacuzzi? Like, man, what do you do, dog? He's like, I work for Jewel. He's like, what? You a manager? No, I'm just a bag boy. He's like, God damn. I kind of like lean on it. That's like, yeah, because they don't have to worry about paying for everything. That's why they always have money. You know, they go Dutch every time. You know, they don't have to worry about divorce. At the time they did. Now, who knows what bag of worms they opened up. You had to worry about divorce, alimony, child support. That's why they always have money. Yeah, it was a silly joke. I threw it out since then, but yeah, I remember just being nervous for 15. First time I did 15 minutes. I was still insane. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your first time being up there. People don't understand how long 15 minutes is. No. When you're watching stand up, when you're watching a program, when you're watching a special, or even when you go out and you watch somebody and you're listening to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're not conscious
on the work.
on the work and the time.
Oh yeah.
You're just listening, and all of a sudden I've seen people get upset. It was like, oh well, Martin Lawrence only gave us like 45 minutes. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I paid, I thought he would give us more. And then you don't realize you don't understand until I dare anybody right now to grab a notebook, grab their laptop, open up their phone, and sit there and just start writing about anything. Yeah. I don't care if it's your memoirs. This one night, just start writing, and just realize, and then read it, and then say, okay, I've got 15 minutes or 30. I can read this for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, 15 minutes. It's like just a solid 15 minutes
where you have somebody on the edge.
You at least a year.
Oh yeah, it's you know what I'm
when
saying?
You first starting off, it's
15 minutes is extremely different. Yeah. Because you want it to become out natural, where it's a part of you, where it's almost as if you're not telling a joke. Yeah. They don't see that. It's different from shooting the shit with your friends and this is a funny guy. Yeah. Now, tell that same story 400 other times. Right. Mm-hmm. And then go tell it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go tell it with the same energy that don't know. Mm-hmm. And you don't know if their reaction to it, if it's gonna be funny or not. Right. And like me and Mark were discussing earlier about, it's different with cultures being a comic because
absolutely.
Telling jokes on the south side of Chicago is completely different than telling jokes on the north side. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Like you have to tailor it. But as a comic, you don't know what you're getting.
No, right.
You don't know what you're getting. And then not only that, but not just because the south side is predominantly black, the north side is predominantly white, but you don't know everybody's intelligence. Yes. Some people are more politically, on the political side. Some people are slapstick. Some people, the joke has to hit them in the fucking face to be funny. Yeah. As some people, it's an intellectual joke. So you think about, okay. So I joke with my producer all the time about we'd be watching stand up or we'd hear stand up or whatever, and I said, you ever heard a joke that was funny but you didn't laugh? Like you heard a joke and you're like, oh my god, that was really funny. Yeah. Like that was really fun. It's a funny joke. You didn't bust out hysterically, but you knew that was a hilarious joke.
You hate that shit because you're like, I know you got that, but laugh, motherfucker.
Right. As the comic, it's like, oh
but
man,
there's no town hall meeting. Go ahead and laugh. You might say something that's so witty and so smart. Yeah. And like, people get it, and it's almost like the shock factor.
That was good.
You know what I mean?
Like, that was really good. And I've had that where it's like I felt like I almost disrespected the comic because I'd be like, I do the chuckle and I'm like, that's really funny, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, no. that was it stays with me 2 days later. I'm like, oh my god, that was really fucking funny.
It happens more to comics than like regular people, because like you get engulfed in writing jokes, stuff like that. And I can't even listen to comedy no more, because I'm always like not in the moment. I'm like, where's this going? Oh, that tag was good. I would have added this punch to it. You know what I'm saying? So then when I hear a joke that's funny, I'm like, oh, that's a good joke. I'm not even looking at it as a joke, because look at it as like a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're seeing you're a purist, so you're seeing now the setup. You understand the underlinings. You don't watch the things the same, and it's like
LeBron going for a reverse double clutch back dunk. Everyone's cheering and shit. Except the coach. All he sees is 2 points. That's it. Well, you made the bucket. That was good. You know what I'm saying?
You know you could have just laid it up.
But I've heard, and it's funny, I've heard athletes talk about that, like former athletes. They say when I'm watching a game, I don't watch the game how everybody else watches the game.
Exactly.
I see schemes. I see, what is this player doing?
Right.
And for everybody else, it's like, well, he blocked the guy.
That's it.
And it's like, oh, well, no. It was the way he blocked the guy. Like, it's difficult for people to,
came off a weak side at the right time, all this other stuff.
And
we're just getting hyped over the block.
We're just getting hyped over the block, and they don't see the effort.
Right.
And it's the details that people that know, and it's the funny thing when you become I believe a lot of people are comedians. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do believe that. It's a certain eye. I tell people all the time, when you're a comedian, you have the eye to see things that nobody at that given time believes is funny.
But there's also no school.
There's no school of it. It's something that you're born with. I believe you're born, like, I believe teachers it's another profession where you can't be taught to teach. You can't be taught to be a nurse.
Yeah.
You have to. It's like I always use this in life when I try to encourage people and talk to people all the time or whatever. It's a scene from Along Came the Spider with Morgan Freeman, from the James Patterson novel, where the young Secret Service agent, she's missed the shot. She didn't do whatever she did.
Morgan Freeman never ages though, man.
I swear to God, Morgan Freeman's been old since he's the original Benjamin Button.
Since he's been young.
He's been old. Yes, that's a good line. He's been old since he's been young. No, but he's talking to her, and she's down on herself because she messed up, and he goes, you do what you are, and she says, no, you are what you do. He says, no, you do what you are.
Right.
Yeah.
All our lives, we end up. Nobody grows up. You're not born a fucking accountant.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You crunch numbers. You just that and other. You work there 20 years. You eat your ham sandwich and your tomato soup can for lunch every day, and you're a fucking accountant. That's all you know is fucking numbers. You became an accountant, but you're not a fucking accountant.
Right.
Nobody's a fucking accountant.
And honestly, it's just
you see what I'm saying?
Right,
That's not.
Yeah.
When you're a nurse, like people all the time, they talk about all the bad experiences they have when they go see their family members at hospitals, because everybody's trying to become a nurse. You don't become a nurse, you're of it. You embody that nurturing spirit, that nurturing characteristic about you. If you're a teacher, you can be you don't have to go to school and teach kids. You can be a fucking teacher anywhere.
Yeah.
You can teach that. To instill wisdom is something that's a part of you. That's what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not about the money. You're gonna somehow, some way find yourself
he's getting teaching about this
everywhere because it's true.
I think he's gonna pass out the collection.
No, I'm just saying it's very true. I find it to be very true. If you're a comedian,
it's a passion.
It's a passion, but it's something that you see. You have that third eye.
It's something you are.
A lot of comedians, people don't understand, they're really depressed, and they go through depression in life. People are like, well, why? Because they see shit that other people don't see, and it's something you can't turn on and turn off. You see a lot of things that are funny, you find humor in them, but then on the reverse of that, there's opposites to everything: up, down, left, right.
Well, I feel like the average person too just wants to be in that comfort zone, and just accepts things however they are.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? However they are. Just like, I mean, just like music now, you know what I mean? Like radio, like the shit that's on the radio is fucking terrible. There's people out there that they don't care. They're like, you know what? Whatever they're playing, I'll listen to.
Right.
You know, whatever's in the top 40, I'll listen to.
Right.
I don't want to think. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And I think most artists look past that and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
You go talk to the artist and they'll sit there and tell you.
Right.
Bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing worse than I've heard just recently Arsenio Hall on a sports radio show, which was crazy. Yeah. But they had him on and he was talking about comedy and he was like, "I've heard every joke.
Yeah.
I've literally heard every joke you can ever tell."
Yeah.
He was like, the thing is, now, he was like, with hacky comedians or whatever, he was like, it's not about whether or not you're funny. He's like, you can't tell me any story I've not heard.
Yeah.
But in your life, your experience is going to be different than his experience.
Right. Yeah.
So when Richard Pryor came out and dropped that bomb on everybody, and telling his own personal and opening
that
up,
was almost like a comedy cheat code. Everyone was like, "You could do that," like, you know,
you're right. It was transcendent. Like, to make laugh at yourselves. Like now, everybody, like the comedian's comedian now is known as Dave Chappelle. Like every comic, you ask them who's the greatest one doing it right now, they say Chappelle. They say why? Because he makes you laugh at things that you're not supposed to laugh at. And you're extremely uncomfortable with talking about. But he makes us laugh at ourselves. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing stuff that is everyday things, and he gets you to laugh at yourself. Like that, again, that is that eye that comedians have. The only problem is, I've always said you can't turn that off. So for me, I see things, and it's like, holy shit. Like that bad shit, that dark side. That it's a side that sometimes you get caught up in as a comic, and you see a lot of comics they commit suicide. Or,
I try to pull back,
and you try to
pull
turn
back,
your mind off. It's very difficult. Is it hard
side.
to that dark side? Have you? I'm gonna ask. Have you, Mark, been on that dark? I don't want this to get crazy, but that dark side.
I know
because
what you mean. Like that dark comedy.
It's because you're seeing this. This is stuff that you see in your life that other people. It's hard for you to have conversations with regular people because they don't get to see what you say.
I think the main thing is just trying to remember, like, because it doesn't matter if a joke is lighthearted or a little dark. It's just got to be funny. You just got to keep that in mind. Like, if you're falling off the rails and you're getting too dark, then you're not doing your job, and your job as a comic is to make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, basically.
And you've got to keep that inner shit within you, and you've got to find a way to deal.
You've got to find a way to channel it in a way
compartmentalize,
where it's going to be funny. People can still relate to it, but you still got to be able to make people laugh. And I see a lot of people that try to make like political statements and stuff like that through comedy, but they go about it just the wrong way, and it just comes off, it either
a town hall meeting.
Some
dude's ringing a bell.
You're making a great point, but this isn't funny. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't why people came to see you.
And what about you? Have you? Do you get that depression, that dark side, because you see things that the world doesn't see?
But the audience won't allow you to go there. You know, you go up there, you might have some twisted thought. You get up, you write out a bit, you go on stage, you're like, hey, you know what, that shit was garbage. And I'm like, all right, now I feel more depressed when I wrote it the first time. You know what I mean? Go ahead and spruce this thing up, plant some flowers in this joke, you know? So, I mean, that's one thing about comedy is that, like, I love about it is that it's the only thing, there's no rehearsal. There's no rehearsal. There's no rehearsal. I can gain a fan and lose a fan during practice. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You gain a fan and lose a fan on set. On showcase.
On showcase, on set. You know, I'm hoping, like, if it's showcase shit, it's going to be tight. But, I mean, someone can just walk in on an open mic night where I'm working out material, like, well, I found that offensive, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, well, sorry. Sorry you feel that way.
You can't take
I'm figuring it out the way you figured it out right now. You know what I'm saying? So, if I get a couple more people show up like you, then I might make some changes. But
you got 200 people in a club and you're on the showcase. That was the first thing. I was looking for advice from a comic in Northwest Indiana. He lives in Chicago now, Keith Evans. And
I know Keith.
Yeah, real funny guy. And
Evans from the heavens.
And I was Facebooking and I was asking for advice. Getting into it. And he said, one thing you got to understand is you're gonna go out and it's not going to be about your material. And you're going to have a lot of long nights where people aren't going to laugh. And some people are going to laugh. And you've got to not worry about whether or not everybody's not going to laugh.
Yeah.
You can't get caught up in trying to please everybody, because it's not going to fucking happen. You're going to turn some people off. You're going to turn some people on. You know, you've just got to understand that whatever you're doing, this is something that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what, no matter if you bomb that night, guess what? You still got to get up and go to work. And guess what?
Yeah.
You got to be on set the other night, or you got to go work that material again, because somebody is going to need that laugh. It's going to affect somebody.
Yeah. Right.
So don't worry about the douchebag or the girl that was there just to be pretty and, you know what I'm saying, to go out there to drink that didn't want to hear you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I always said this: a truly great joke that you write that's true to yourself, you're going to lose 15 to 20% of audience members. If you're being honest with yourself about an opinion about something.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a great joke, it's polarizing. If it's great, 80% of people's like, I get what you're saying, but the other 15's like, I don't want to hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they're going to channel you out because you said X, Y, and Z. I mean, if you really write a great joke, it's going to be, you're going to lose some fatalities. And don't worry about that. You're just weeding them out.
Right.
All right, this brand is not for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's my people right here. You know, as long as it's that number. You can't go there and be like, 80%. Fuck the 80% that don't like me. This 20% is my group right here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you write a great joke, man. It's going to be, you're going to lose some people.
Yeah.
Like, I had that one bit about sleeping with a lesbian, which is a true story.
6 lesbians.
No, but the one crazy one that ended up being sober later. And then I literally was doing this bit one day and it was crushing. But I seen 2 like lesbians stand up and then walk out the room from the back, and I was like, "Yep, there he goes, there it is." But I was like, "Whatever, it's gonna happen."
Yeah, it's like I had a bit about the whole Bill Cosby situation.
Oh, okay.
And I remember when I first started talking about it, I dropped, the rape word. You know what I'm saying?
You said the rape word.
Yeah, the rape word.
I said the R word. No, yeah.
You gotta say the R word.
Hey, the R,
the R word.
And I noticed, asses tighten, man, when I would try to tell that joke. So I left that word out.
It's an uncomfortable thing.
And just, said the accused or whatever. But you have to get up and do that to see what's working and what's not. And I realized that it started working better when I just left that word out. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you compromise yourself?
I felt like a little bit.
To gear to taking care of everybody?
That's honestly, that's the one thing that I
instead of just throwing it out there
is that situation. You know what I'm saying?
But because you have a comedic license, and we hear about the comedic license all the time. Everybody has the comedic license, so you have more leeway to say anything.
Right.
As long as it's funny.
And I won't really touch it like that.
Right, because it's extremely sensitive topic. But I've heard comics come out and say that word.
Right.
And it be hilarious. It's uncomfortable laughter, but it's still laughter. You see what I'm saying?
But I look at it
and I've been watching with a young lady that I knew that had experienced that devastating situation, and she laughed.
Right.
And I was like, wow. And I was having an out of body experience. I kind of looked and watching. Like, holy shit! You laughed at that joke, but you went through that experience, and she didn't feel, even with what she went through, that, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's like,
sometimes
comic, when do you?
But see, and that's the thing. It depends on the person.
Right.
That person is strong enough
to stand
and
on
smart
it.
enough to realize this person doesn't know me. They're not talking about me. They're just telling a joke. Okay. But you'll have other times where people hear that word.
And you know what? Those people should not go to comedy shows.
Let me ask you.
It shouldn't, but here's my thing. And I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
My last point about that is with that subject, and I know that there's male rape victims just as much as women.
Yes.
But I feel like
those are called dudes that just give up.
Go ahead.
I don't want to but you try too much, bitch.
But I feel like but I kind of stay away from it because I hear women when they tell me or when they talk about that and they get offended by it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way as us as black males might get offended by something that someone says is racist, that we can't really technically really explain unless you are us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And since I'm not,
I got you.
The female gender.
Right. You stay away from it.
I just choose to stay away from that.
It's a conscious decision to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just out of respect.
Yeah, okay.
You got to be careful, man. Like, I don't know, man. You got to learn, like I said.
So you two, both of you guys do compromise.
I don't
compromise the structure.
On topics, or do you just stay away from topics? Well, in general, or there's some topics.
But it was just, I rearranged.
Right, like I know, like some topics, like if you don't know about politics, I believe as a comic you shouldn't go into them unless it's something blatant.
I talk about politics and I talk about. My fault. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So look, I talk about politics. I'm not that informed, but also say that in the bit. I say,
but it makes it funnier.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be allowed to vote for American Idol, let alone the president of the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
so
make it funny, it's a good transition.
As long as you go in there, if you make the statement before I'm a moron, then really what that does, it gives you free range to like say anything and like, oh wait, this guy did tell me he's a moron. Like there's no fact.
It's not fact checking right now. Nobody's fact checking this guy. On anything that he's saying right now because it's free reign.
Right.
So it's a way you put a spin on it. Then basically you put a spin on any topic that you would generally stay away from, but you're up there, you're on stage, and you might throw something out, and it's like, okay, they might have felt that I might be able to go here. Let me put this out here. Okay, now I got free reign, and I can just run with it.
And in my particular situation, the bit didn't really need that. It wasn't like that word was going to help.
What's held in structure? That's what I'm talking about. Structural integrity is different.
Okay.
That means I'm going to take this out, and the bit's going to be compromised from its funny.
Yeah.
That's structural integrity.
Okay.
That's what I have a problem with. Regular integrity, where he's like, you know what? They didn't like this word. Let me change it. That's no problem. As long as the funny's still there. As long as the beams are still holding up the structure, it's all good to go.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. To me, I don't do rape jokes because you have to be brilliant to pull them off.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't think I'm at that level at all. And once again, you talk about that vision of how you see things as funny. I think I compare it to like Terminator when he sees like threats. Threat.
Wait, when I hear somebody doing that too, especially like an open mic, and it's like a newer comic, and they start going into rape, you're like, dude, you're not ready for this.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing?
His Terminator eye isn't the right. That Terminator eye, you'll be like, oh, that's funny, but that's not. And then the longer you get into comedy, the more your eye picks up.
Yeah.
So after a while, you become like a Super Saiyan of Terminator, where you just like, I'm gonna talk about this plant right here on some Seinfeld shit for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
What is going on with the plant?
Murder it. This guy's talking about a plant for 30 minutes.
But I think Seinfeld was very heady. His intelligence and really wordy. I think some comics are really wordy. His intelligence was like he had that where he could just pound it, and it made you think. And unlike like Chris Rock is a guy that he could take a joke or a premise and he can stretch it out for everything till there's nothing left. And some comics, the upper echelon comics, they found their niche. Like Chris Rock found his niche, and I'm gonna beat this into your head for the next 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I love Chappelle, but Chris Rock's still my favorite.
Because he's got the intelligence and he beats it into your head, and to the point where
you're not gonna forget what he's talking about
for the bit. He's found his niche, and Chappelle makes you laugh at yourself, and Louis C.K. is like the angry, confused. I love him, and even Louis Black. When I remember the first time I saw Louis Black, it was Red, White, and Blue. It was a stand-up on HBO. I was like, who is this guy? And I checked him out, and he was so funny because he had this anger in him, and this irritable rage that was so funny because,
and that's when you can go dark and it works.
And it works, right?
You know what I mean?
It's the presentation along with it,
and everything goes along with the presentation. You know, and that's what I mean. Like if it's funny, yeah, go dark. You know, do it. It's a comedy show. If somebody gets offended, fuck them. You know, like, honestly, it's
right.
You know where you're at.
Like D.L. Hooley says, fuck it if you can't take a joke.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, man. That is dope. Closing thoughts. Ed, thanks for joining us,
no
bro.
Problem, man. I didn't mean to bombard, man.
No, you
the
bombarded.
game was on.
Yeah,
I was texting Mike, yo, you gonna watch this game? I heard nothing back. He said he mentioned he's going to O'Donovan's for the podcast. Like,